field lined up and ready to go. Who will come away with a 20-lapper to start off a 7-race weekend for the USF Pro Championships? Drivers onto the front straightaway. Green flag flying. We're underway. Green, green, green. And they'll power their way down under the bridge into turn number 1. Field looking good so far. We know that turn 1 can be precarious. It was definitely in the wet. We were back here in June, but the drivers navigating that corner so far nicely. The big run up the hill, climbing up into the downhill right-hand keyhole corner, one of the most iconic corners in, obviously, American motorsports, coming down the hill there, off camber. Key part of the racetrack, onto the power as you roll your way back down the straightaway. A long run from turn number 2 through the kink, turn 3, down into the newly reshaped turn number 4. In our first of 2 races back in June, these drivers here in USF Juniors went green to checker, and getting through this opening corner is going to be clear. Down here, thinking 3 wide further back, big move down to the bottom of the racetrack. Do they give themselves room? They do. Good looking stuff so far. A couple drivers off the track. That change, though, over by China Beach means you're able to get off there without as much damage. Brought the car back on. So instead of the car sliding off, John, like we've seen many times before, you're able to control it without having that big lip there, coming back on the other side. That just paid off right there for 2 drivers that could have been in the gravel, ended up being able to get back onto the racetrack.
Yeah, and we stay green, and that's exactly what we want to see, but a little bit of a stretch now as Ty Fisher and a Scorpione going after it at the front. Weldon right there as well as they're into the carousel for the first time at speed.
This is a track where qualifying well certainly pays off. If you can get out front and get working together, it's going to pay off for you. They come across start-finish for the first time. It is Fisher as the leader. A Scorpione runs in second. Weldon in third. Vergara up to fourth. Gonzalez fifth. Loiacono sixth. Giat, Attila, Cooley, and Hudson Potter. Hudson Potter, a good start. Started 14th. He's up into the top 10 right now, so +4 for Hudson Potter. -2 for Brendan Cooley. Started in 7th, ends up in 9th at the end of the first lap. But the bottom line is everybody's kind of settled into it now. A little more action further back. You can see that they're going inside, outside, coming into the braking zone of turn 2, the right-hand keyhole. And we saw some great racing in that June race, battling for 14th, for 16th, for 18th. They were just scrapping each other. And one of the things, John, we'd say about this particular series, it's all about development. This is them coming out of karting, maybe into one of the Formula Car series or schools. This is them learning how to go wheel to wheel in cars, not karts, a very different animal. And we want to see them going wheel to wheel. I don't care if you're running for 4th or 1st or 18th. If you're going wheel to wheel with somebody, that's the experience we want from them. We want them to be able to go wheel to wheel. I don't care where it is in the field.
Yeah, situational awareness is what it's all about, is these drivers learning where the corners of the car are and giving a room to their fellow competitors. You know, clean but fair. That's what we're looking for as they come into the carousel once again.
Well, the big interesting thing about moving from karts to cars, of course, is the braking, number 1, the aerodynamics. But also, when you sit in a go-kart, you're literally kind of sitting over top of the rear axle.
Yeah.
In these cars here, you got like another 6 or 7 feet behind you. You have to realize when you're making a move across somebody, as we're 3 wide coming up the straightaway here, that you have to understand that if you come across the bow, there's all that race car behind you. Drivers are doing a great job further back coming through. One driver has lost a wing, and that is the number 5 of Chase Fernandez, the driver from the British Formula 4 Series, who was a winner earlier this year at Donington Park, coming to join us here this weekend. An inauspicious beginning for sure, knocking the front wing off the machine. The Jay Howard crew very likely will get a new front wing put on that, try to get him back out onto the racetrack. He just needs seat time here, knowing that he's got another race tomorrow as well. We saw some great battling further back in the pack. Fisher, Scorpione, Weldon, Vergara, and Gonzalez is your top 5. Gonzalez actually getting challenged by Liam Loiacono further back as well. 20 laps will be the duration. Oh, there's contact further back there. One driver off into the gravel. He got contact from behind. That may bring out a full course. He's going to try to get it out, but as we know, when you get into the gravel like that, the minute you stand on the gas, sorry folks, no treaded tires there.
You're going to bury it.
Yeah, so there's a possibility, an issue there to pick up that car. That's one of the Inter-MS machines. I think looks like the 25 of Hudson Potter, we think, off. Yeah, full course yellow caution is out. Contact between a couple of drivers there. Potter was running 12th across the line. I didn't quite see which the other driver was involved there. That's Potter, who's off to the left side. Yeah, hard to pick up that car to find out which one it actually is, but 2 drivers off. Potter's the car to the left. We'll see when they come back around, folks. They're going to come down the order here. Oh, it's Kaylee Countryman. Kaylee Countryman is the driver who's gone off as well on the number 90 machine. There was contact as they came into the corner there. So both those drivers will fall to the tail of the field. That's going to move Connor Aspley up into 12th, Hoskins to 13th, Scarborough to 14th, Suko goes up to 15th, Nordquist to 16th, Matty Collar into 17th. Chase Fernandez back out on the racetrack. And so the Potter Countryman contact over in turn number 4 ends this one early. Yeah, disappointing for those drivers. We expected hopefully to be able to go green to checker again, but it looks like they were just getting a little too over aggressive.
Kaylee had a great qualifying performance starting inside of row 7. So as we have a replay coming here, as Kaylee had a great qualifying performance and was looking for a good weekend here.
Yeah, indeed. Kaylee's coming in. Her best qualifying before that was, I believe, 17th, so 13th for her, moving up the order very nicely. Yesterday she was in the top 10 for both of the test sessions, so yeah. I think expectations were high, but contact happening down over there on the entry to turn number 4. Again, it's a corner where you have to give each other room, and if you're on the outside, well, I briefly looked at it. Obviously, when we saw it, it was hard to actually see what happened. All right, let's have a look, folks. If you're at home or if you're here at the track, look at the big screens here. We'll give you a look at the replay of the incident between Kaylee Countryman and Hudson Potter down in turn number 4. Here's a good shot at it here. Countryman on the outside, Potter on the inside. Yeah, that's left front to right rear contact there coming through the corner. Whether or not Countryman came down on him or Potter 100% wasn't in there yet. Here's another shot from another angle. Yeah, Kaylee's just into the corner and she's starting to turn in. And it was left front to right rear contact. And again, that's an age-old incident in racing.
Yep.
You tuck a nose to the inside, maybe didn't quite have enough. And most race directors will tell you, left front to right rear, it's the overtaking driver who has the responsibility to make the cut happen. I had a chance to sit in on our drivers meeting earlier. It was yesterday, actually, John, with Joel Miller, who is our race director, and he said that, listen, guys, remember this. The overtaking driver has the responsibility coming into a corner. You have to get it done correctly. Potter was down the inside. If it's left front to right rear, it's going to go on the driver behind for sure.
Yeah,
Tough
absolutely.
one. So, re-rack them. And our first yellow flag of the weekend here, coming 2 laps into this one. Second time rather down into turn number 4. The drivers up front were able to get away with it. Ty Fisher and Leonardo Scorpioni, the 2 Zanella Racing pilots out front. Zanella Racing leading the team championship points as well over VRD. They have about a 17-point lead there. D-Force Racing not that far back either. But Ty Fisher and Leonardo Scorpioni up front. And it's the 2 VRD drivers, Oliver Weldon and Joao Vergara. Rodrigo Gonzalez sits in 5th, Liam Loy Aquino in 6th, Diego Guillo in 7th, Vito Atala in 8th, Brendan Cooley 9th, and Matan Achatov rounding out the top 10. Back through the incident scene once again, the AMR IndyCar safety team doing their best, number 1, to get Kaylee back out, because if there's no damage to either of these cars, they want to get them to continue. They're not going to pick them up on a hook. If we can refire these drivers and get them back on track, they'll do it. They've got the quick jacks out there. That looks like Potter's. Is that Potter? No, that's.
Yeah, I think that's Potter.
That looks like Potter's car potentially on the hook. That might be, it might be the damage there to the left front. Oh yeah, here's Countryman's in here. So Kaylee's brought it into pit lane. That is indeed the car of Countryman. Team, of not surprising, going to look in the rear of the race car. They're going to look both ways. They're going to look for the stability on the rear wing. A good check over for Countryman. She's back on track. So again, she's going to be down a lap or 2.
Yeah,
she's going back out.
Yep.
Is she going to race for position? No. But seat time, seat time, seat time. That's what these teams, these families pay for. They want their driver to get as much seat time as possible. So early in their racing journeys. Kaylee, of course, as we said, back into pit lane and underway. Hudson Potter, though, with damage. And that doesn't surprise me either. You're sticking your nose in there and very likely the left front suspension taking a beating there. We'll probably get a look at it when they bring the car down pit lane here for you. We'll try to give you a shot of it, or at least give you the explanation from what we can see. We are high atop the tower here at start finish. John's office for a couple years.
Yeah, just a couple. Yeah.
I'm surprised you don't have some stuff hanging up in here, like maybe a couple portraits or something here. At least have a better chair. That stool looks like I think you've had that stool for 15 years.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it's my home.
Indeed it is.
Yeah, so. But glad to welcome you into it.
I remember coming back here in the days in the 2000s. We were here for what was the Z-Tech series back then, the F2000 Z-Tech series, and the SCCA runoffs, and yeah, so many great races have been here. You've called so many of them, which is fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah, being told both drivers are okay. That's one thing. We obviously know that Kaylee's fine. She's back on track, but even with the contact for Hudson Potter, he's all right. So that's a very positive update there from race control.
Yeah, here comes Kaylee pedaling fast to try to catch up to the back of the pack before we go green. So,
indeed, on the throttle here. Let's see the field coming down through the incident scene now, which has been cleared up. Shout out to the AMR IndyCar safety team again. We actually had a little party for them, little appreciation party at Road America. They're such a big part of what we do. And to be able to be here at these IndyCar weekends and be able to have access to them, and when we bring a number of their people to our standalone events for USF Juniors as well, they help, of course, with the incident cleanup, and they know the cars, they know the people. Again, just thrilled to have any kind of association with the AMR IndyCar safety team, the absolute best in the business for sure.
Yeah, and so many of them based in the Indianapolis area.
Indeed.
So it's not a huge trip for them over here to Mid Ohio. It's about a 3-hour drive. So,
checking out the pace car here. I think we're probably going to go back to green flag racing, indeed.
Sure looks like it. Yeah, he's pulling away from the field. Lights are out, turning the field over to our leader, Ty Fisher, as he will bring him around. Little gamesmanship goes on at this stage,
right.
On the restarts, of course.
Gail Triss, our pace car driver, bringing that Honda Type R Civic into pit lane. And yeah, good start there for Ty Fisher. Nice jump. Let's see if Weldon's got anything here for a Scorpione about getting the draft coming through the corner. Everybody lining up, a little bit of aero wash through that corner. Very quick corner here, although they're not fully up to speed, having just gone off the throttle coming out of the carousel, so maybe a little bit lower on the pace. Look at the big run to the left side of the racetrack. A full racing line for Ty Fisher. As everybody else, single file, stacking them and packing them through the keyhole here. There's a great shot of the downhill part of this racetrack. Such a crucial corner to get on the power correctly. You don't want to drive it in too hard to diamond the corner and have the thing have some mid-corner understeer. If you drive it in too hard, John, you know you got so much wheel in it. You got to wait to get back on the throttle, and the only way to make a straightaway longer is not going deeper into the braking zone. It's getting on the throttle earlier. It's so crucial for these drivers to understand that.
Best battle is the one for second.
Hey, I think we got to pass for third, actually, John. I think Vergara was able to get by Weldon. Yeah,
exactly right.
And there's Giat as well, looking to the inside of Loiacono coming down into turn 6. That's a tough pace to make a pass. You've almost got to get that pass done coming down the hill. You're not really going to dive bomb to the inside of turn 6. So that driver's already turned in and committed to come across the bow from left to right. You just can't throw it down the bottom there.
Ty Fisher looking for some redemption here. He did not have a great second race here last month when we were here with the IMSA weekend. So he's looking to get some redemption here, and he's doing a great job of it. Well out in front now. And he's just got to keep hitting his marks and hope the guys behind don't gang up on him.
Well, you think about it, too, for Joao Vergara, right? He's back there 4th place in points. He is 19 points behind, or rather more than 19 points behind the lead right now, 23 points behind Scorpione. He knows, number one, he's got to finish in front of his teammate. Number two, you got to try to get the guy in front of you. Now he's going to go to work on a Scorpione. I always say that when you're in a championship fight, as long as you beat the guy in P1, it's a success on the race, right? You're always making up points. So the bottom line is here, they're going to try to see if they can't get around a Scorpione. And I talked to Joao at the end of the weekend in June. And I said, hey, how excited are you to come back now that we've run here this weekend? You got your first race win. He says, I know that VRD has great cars here. I feel really confident coming into that weekend. So indeed, he's showing that right now, putting the pressure here on a Scorpione.
Great 3-ride racing down into the reprofile turn 4. As they line back up, line astern, climbing the hill up over 5 and back down the hill toward turn 6. And we've got another caution.
Another caution out here early. That green to checker we had, not going to happen here again. So driver's an issue here. We'll find out what it is right now. Sounds like full course yellow. We've got a driver who is high centered in turn number 1. Sounds like the 17 of Thomas Nordquist. That driver, I was looking for a breakthrough weekend. And listen, turn 1's so easy to get through there, get off the racetrack and potentially loop it around. So we're going to see them when they come back through. I can't see it here from our spot in the tower, but you're going to get this when we get the camera shot coming through turn number 1, and then of course the shot from 2 back down to 1.
We saw throughout practice and qualifying a number of drivers dropping a wheel off at the outside of turn 1. That's very easy to do.
It is.
It is the highest speed turn on the racetrack. and it could be he just got a little too far over the gator's teeth.
We'll get a good look at it likely here when they come get another camera shot. Now, too far away on that one. He's actually, it looks like he's maybe come to the inside or the outside of the racetrack to a certain extent, coming from driver's right to left.
He's on driver's left,
So drop the wheel very likely. The car spins around, starts going in that counterclockwise spin. That's happened many times. Luckily, he didn't come all the way across and get into the wall on the left side of the racetrack, but high centered over there. Thomas Nordquist will go down a lap here now as he'll try to get things fired back up. So Fisher able to defend, not even really defend, he just got a really good jump and was able to run the full racing line over the opening lap. Scorpioni is a driver that initially I thought was going to have to defend from Weldon, but it was Vergara who took full advantage of that, was able to get by his teammate Weldon. So movers on that lap had Vergara by Weldon. Loiacono gets by Gonzalez, so Liam Loiacono now up to 5th spot. Gonzalez goes back to 6th. Vilo Atala gets by Giat, so he goes up to 7th. Giat 8th. Brendan Cooley still in the 9th spot. And Patricio Gonzalez now up into 10th. How about JT Hoskins? Started 17th. He's 11th, plus 6, leveraging some of the incidents involved in others. And we say that all the time. Listen, the best way to get a pass done is to not have to get it done at all. Let the other drivers make the mistakes. You make sure you stay out of trouble, and you're going to get the passes you need.
Pato Gonzalez is up 8 as well. He started back in 18th position and up into the top 10 here. So that's a great recovery drive for him.
So laps going in here under the full course yellow, 20 laps of racing. We have a 30-minute time limit, so there's lots of time here still. We're working lap number 8, so we got tons of time still to get it done. I would like to have seen some more green flag racing, but just a couple of minor mistakes, drivers pushing. I talked to Thomas Nordquist in the pre-race show, and he was looking for his best run. This was going to be his breakthrough. He knew he had a great car when they were here in June. He figured he was going to be able to do it. Little minor mistake, dropping a wheel. You talked about it, John. Doesn't take much to get shot to the other side of the racetrack. Thankfully, he gets one more try at it tomorrow morning. We're going to get it back on the racetrack again. So the USF Juniors drivers get to do it all again. The session for them tomorrow morning, bright and early. We'll go green flag racing at 9:40 in the morning. 4 races for you tomorrow. 1 race for juniors, 1 race for 2000, and 2 races for the Pro 2000 category. And then we'll be on the racetrack early on Sunday morning as well. The first race of the day, a 8:20 green flag for the back end of the triple header for USF 2000. So indeed, things are shaking around here a little bit now, as we know. Fisher, Scorpioni, Vergara, Weldon, and Loiacono. Now the question is, what's Vergara going to be like here? Because if he wants to catch up with the championship at all, he's got to get by a Scorpioni. You cannot lose more points there. Ty Fisher's loving it right now because once we get into lap 11, he'll have led the most laps. That's a bonus point for him. Fast lap right now belongs to a Scorpioni with a 26.9. That's another bonus point as well. So pole, most laps led, fast lap in the race, bonus points of 1, 30 points for the race win. Ty Fisher looking to get himself back up here. Remember, he's behind his teammate by 12. This will gain a couple of points here right now. He's going to at least, because remember, he's already got the pole point too.
Right.
So he's in a really good spot here to potentially come away with a 5 or 6 point swing on his teammate.
Norquist into the pit lane as the crew will have a look to see if there's any damage to that car. First thing they do is check the suspension on all 4 corners, make sure everything's straight.
They better get him out here quick if they're going to get him, because the field is coming up the hill here right now. He is still in pit lane. No, now he is leaving.
And we're going to get a restart. Lights are out on the safety car.
He's going to have a chance to get out there and get throttling up.
Yeah, he's already a lap down, but he won't lose another one if he's
exactly that. Yeah.
If he's able to get back out, and he is. And here we come to the restart.
Do it again. Ty Fisher's going to lead him. He's already done it one time. Let's see if the Scorpioni can respond. He does. A Scorpioni, a great launch. He gets it. A Scorpioni's going to pull to the outside. We'll give you the shot coming up here. There's a Scorpioni trying to get the run. This could be the nice over-under if he does it correctly. Cross back over. Because a little bit of a shallow entry there, kind of covered off the bottom for Ty Fisher. Did we get a run here for a Scorpioni as they work their way back up the hill once again? Scorpioni going to tuck to the driver's left. He's going to try to swing all the way around the outside. And listen, Vergara is loving this because he's going to run the inside line. Does not get a run. And in fact, way to the outside goes a Scorpioni. A lot of confidence in the Zanella machine. Yeah, why not too wide? Punch a big hole in the air. Vergara is thinking about defending from Weldon as well, as Oliver Weldon from P4 looks ready to challenge. How's it look coming down the hill into turn number 4? We are still making maybe 3 wide, thinking to the inside. Vergara looking to the bottom of the racetrack, not quite there. Oh, inside, outside. Check this coming down the hill. I think that maybe Fisher may have enough to go to the bottom. He'll tuck it back in again, side by side for the teammates. Hold your breath. Zanella team can't believe what they're seeing right now, and it's a Scorpione to the lead. And listen, we talk about the fact that sometimes it takes more than one corner to make an overtake. That overtake started on the front straightaway with a different run through turn number 1. He ends up getting the pass done in turn number 7. John, that's the beauty of Mid-Ohio. Sometimes it takes a little longer, but you can still get it done. Oh, here comes Weldon to the inside of Vergara on the exit there as well.
Yeah, a little bobble through the carousel for Vergara.
Oh, Weldon's going to go 4 wheels off. He's going to lose at least 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. Yeah, he'll lose at least 4 spots. He tried to hang the outside on Vergara and just lost a wheel on the outside. Weldon, tough one for him as he's going to go back significantly. I want to say all the way back to, I think, 8th. I think Vilo Atala was the driver who threw it in there in turn number 1 at the end. Vergara is by Fisher as well, so Joao Vergara has got himself now up into 2nd. Good stuff here. As the restarts, an excellent opportunity to overtake. As long as you put yourself in the right spot. Scorpione, so impressive the way he handled the first 7 corners to be able to get by. Fisher goes back into 3rd as, again, Vergara is by him. Look at the battle further back, though. I love this. Number of drivers looking for positions further back, all the way back to Connor Aspley, who's currently in 12th. You've got Brendan Cooley in front of him, JT Hoskins in front of him. This is good stuff right now in the USF Juniors program. Hopefully we can string together some green flag laps. 11 in the books, 9 more to go of a 20-lap contest. Still 18 minutes left on the time clock, so long way to go here.
Loiakino's looking great too, as he is right on the tail end of Ty Fisher as they're working their way.
Hey, you know, for Ty, it's part of the mental game, right? You led, you lost a spot, you got roughed up for the next one. Keep your head down. You got to stop the bleeding. You got to get yourself back in the game. You know you have the fastest race car out there. You were just a little bit quicker than your teammate in qualifying. You know the car's there. Just settle back in, go to work. Loiakino qualified back in 8th. He was a half a second off of you on fast time. I guarantee they're on the radio saying, you have the race car, settle down, put your head back down, get in the draft of Vergara, and they'll make a move coming down into turn 4. Watch for Fisher to try to take that spot back when they get the run. You can see them all lining up as they come out of the keyhole down the straightaway here. Not quite enough for the draft, I think, there, as Vergara has a good lap going. But this is the opportunity to potentially get the run. It's such a long straightaway downhill, and in contrast to the uphill turn number 2, the keyhole turn, the braking zone shrunk, of course, because of the uphill run. On a downhill run, the momentum keeps you going. It's a longer braking zone, and you have to make sure you plan for that. The drivers drop the wheel further back. That's one of the Jay Howard cars has dropped the wheel a little bit further back. Not sure if that was Fernandez or not. I would believe likely Fernandez. Again, coming through Thunder Valley. Thomas Nordquist out there by himself doing a great job hammering laps out. Watching the leaders come down through the carousel now. I think the remainder of the field coming up. This great shot as they come up out of Thunder Valley, turning in through 10 to 11. Scorpione thinking about trying to win race number 4, potentially stretching his point lead. Remember, 7-point lead over Weldon. Weldon currently running in the 7th position. He's able to get back by Vilo Atala. Hoskins runs in 9th, Brendan Cooley in 10th. Brendan Cooley's best finish of the year so far is 8th at NOLA. This would be his 2nd best finish if he's able to come home here P10. I don't think Cooley's done yet. He is battling. That's him on the outside of Hoskins there. Cooley trying the outside run, coming down into the keyhole. I like the bravery. Look at this. Now he's going to try to go to the inside. That's a great battle. That is for 9th and 10th. Hoskins and Cooley. Cooley had position coming through the kink of turn number 3. You see that back there? Does he make a run to the inside? Does he throw it down the bottom? Here comes Cooley to the inside. Book it. He's through. Oh, Hoskins thinking about the inside again. No, great pass there for Brendan Cooley to move his way up into the 9th spot. Patricio Gonzalez now the driver getting ready to fight it out with Hoskins, and I think he may have got through as well, as did Connor Aspley. John, that's just a case of getting on the outside. You know, he could never get back down to the apex that he needed to get to, and that, of course, allowed everybody to come streaming through.
Yep. And that's a great recovery drive for Hoskins. Again, he didn't qualify well back in row 9, and up here battling just inside the top 10.
He's still +5.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
even though he just, I think, fell to probably 11th or 12th, he's still +5 on the day so far. 13 laps down. No real challenge in the top group here right now. Let's see what Brendan Cooley's got. We saw him on the move. What has he got for lap times? Cooley today, 127.7 in that overtake. Lost a bit of ground to Vilo Atala, so Cooley runs now in the 9th spot. Again, we said P8 was his best finish. Cooley 8th at NOLA in race number 2 all the way back in April, so he needs a good bounce back here now. He was actually having a great run at Road America in the USF 2000 race as well, but got taken out with a driver climbing over the back of him in turn 14 on the final circuit. Actually, the second last lap, he actually brought out the yellow at the end of the race, getting driven over top of. So he's had some ups and downs, but I think Cooley's going to be a driver who's going to be impressive next year in 2026. Again, look at the racing further back. Good stuff back there as well. That, I believe, is Emma Scarborough going at it with Michael Succo. So they're going at it right there as well with, I believe, Fernandez. As I said, great racing all the way through the field. That's all we want. These drivers to be involved in these one-on-one battles. It's just the dogfight of racing, to be able to understand where you are, where you're positioning your race car, where you can defend and not make a mistake. Because again, the drivers like to call it blocking. I remind them if they use the word defending, it's a lot less egregious. So if you are defending, you cannot move. You cannot move in reaction to the driver behind you. That's one of the rule sets of our program. So if a driver's behind you and has made a move to your left to try to make a pass, you can't move to the left to block. You can't make a move in defense. You can come out of a corner and move to the left immediately before they do, but you then can't come back to defend when they get a better run. Scorpioni, Vergara, Fisher, Loiacono, and Gonzalez, the top 5. Weldon runs 6th, Giat 7th, Attila 8th, Cooley 9th, and Gonzalez 10th. 15 laps down, 5 laps remaining. The first of 2 races here for USF Juniors. Again, we're back at it again right after this. We're looking at very likely a 2:10 green flag, but we'll be back at it right after this. Essentially, we're going straight from victory lane right back up here to the tower for USF 2000 to cap off what's been a morning full of development level racing. If you are a fan of the NTT IndyCar Series and you're hanging around the track here right now, you're at your campsite, you're watching online, this is the future. This is where Kyle Kirkwood, Pato Award, Arenas VK, Christian Rasmussen, Louis Foster, this is where they came from. They ran in this program. So this is what you're seeing. These are the future drivers you're going to see here at Mid-Ohio and IndyCar in 4, 5, 6 years' time.
Top 3 have broken away just a little bit from Loiacono, so it's kind of a 3-horse battle at the front of it right now. Scorpioni trying to extend that points lead. Joao Vergara looking for another win here at Mid-Ohio if he can find a way around. And Ty Fisher started from the pole, got roughed up just a little bit, dropped back to 3rd, but he's still very much in the hunt with 4 laps to go.
4 laps remaining, as John had said. What do we have for the battle here? When's it going to come? It's starting to close up a bit. Vergara got a really nice run through turn number 1, I think. He's only about 3 or 4, maybe just 3 car lengths back as they come out of 2. There it is there. That's 1st, 2nd, 3rd, as John had said. Then back to 4th, Loiacono. Big back to 5th, which is Gonzalez. 6th, Weldon. 7th, Attila. And then you've got the next group there. Brendan Cooley is 100% closing up on Diego Giat for 8th, though. He was faster last time by a full second. So Cooley up on the wheel. He's going to get some draft help as well when they come down in here. Yeah, we're going to see ourselves with a couple of battles, I think, before this thing's all said and done. 4 laps to go. Vergara in his head is, I've got to get by a Scorpioni. I'm already back significantly right now in the points. I'm 23 points back. I can't let him get another 3 or 4 points on me. I will say this, I think Fisher still has the most laps led, and he's got, of course, the pole lap. Fastest lap right now is Fisher, so he's got that bonus. He's got all 3 bonus points right now, Ty Fisher does. But late in the race, we might see a driver go purple, especially with the draft. Everybody's working their way through the carousel here. They're trying to pick up the next battle on the racetrack. Giat, Cooley, and then the 15 of Gonzalez. They're pretty close together right now, I'll tell you. Scorpioni just set the fast time of the race right there. I said late in the race, these cars get lighter. These Continentals are going to hold on. They're not going to fade off here. Remember, everybody started with fresh rubber. well, maybe not actually. Somebody may have saved a fresh set for race number 2, so I shouldn't jump to the conclusion and say that. But nonetheless, these tires are holding on. Scorpione just turned the fast lap, extends his gap to 0.6 of a second. JT Hoskins now lining up Connor Aspley for 11th. That was that shot you saw coming through turn number 3 rather. We'll see if he gets that job done. Now he's right on him coming down through 4 and 5. I like this. That's a good battle for JT Hoskins. You want him to re-engage. I don't want to go into the Top Gun reference, but I probably can. Obviously an issue at Road America, had that big wreck. You've got to engage. You've got to get right back at it. Not just get in the race car, but he's got to engage. He's got to get back into some battles. We already saw him in a couple, so I'm really liking the bounce back for JT Hoskins. A little look at the mettle of the young man, right? To be able to bounce right back, and I like to see that out of any of the drivers here. Fight back after an incident, get in the fight, and Hoskins putting all the pressure now on Aspley for that position.
2 to go as Scorpione stretching his advantage just a little bit. The battle's on for second, however, as Fisher trying to recover around Vergara. Vergara doing what he needs to keep Fisher behind him, because that will close that points battle down.
Kaylee Countryman back on the racetrack, as we said, those laps down after that contact with her and Hudson Potter. But now she's closed up, I believe, on the back of Emma Scarborough right now. And she's, again, this could be just that's the battle right there. She's going to make a move to the inside. Now, listen, I've always said you want to beat your teammate first and foremost. You want to win races. And I think for Kaylee and Madison and Emma, they're all trying to beat each other too, right? Like I want to be the top girl here right now. Although, again, like I always say, car doesn't know who's driving it. Doesn't matter. You put the helmet on, the car has no idea. Just go to work. Love the fact you have these 3 young ladies in their first year here at USF Juniors. I hope to see all 3 of them back in juniors next year. I think that would be a great opportunity for them to move their way up and be front row, battling for top 10s, battling for podiums and race wins. Little drop of the wheel for Loiacono. You can tell he's pushing further back. He's P4 right now, 5th place in points. But as John said, a Scorpione out to almost 0.8 of a second. White flag will fly this time by. A Scorpione trying to grab his 4th win of the season. Zanello looking to go 1st and 3rd. Vergara on that last lap. How about a half a tenth faster? 500ths, not going to get the job done right now, but he'll get one big run, a couple opportunities to leverage the draft. White flag in our first of 7 races here on the weekend. USF 2000 drivers sitting over on the Prix grid, getting ready for their first race of a triple header. 20 laps for them as well. You know what? It's not going to be a battle for the lead, but it could be a battle for second. Ty Fisher is closer to Vergara than Vergara is to a Scorpione. Fisher maybe thinking about trying to go and make it a Zanello Racing 1-2, just like they did in qualifying. Look at Fisher right there on him. Loiacono all by himself there. Again, John, as we know, there's not a lot of place to pass from here on. You got to kind of force a mistake. Maybe you lunge down to the inside of the carousel, the entry there. There's not a lot of places once you get through turns 5 and 6. But you can make a mistake anywhere on this racetrack. I'm going to tell you that right now. You drop a wheel anywhere and it over. So here comes the Scorpione up out of Thunder Valley. He's going to try to go for his 4th win of the year to stretch that point lead over Oliver Weldon. Weldon currently running P6. Just got to guide it through. And for the 4th time in 2025, the winner in USF Juniors is Leonardo Scorpione. A Scorpione winning over Joao Vergara. Ty Fisher coming home in 3rd. Liam Loiacono in 4th spot. Rodrigo Gonzalez 5th. Oliver Weldon 6th. Vilo Attila in 6th. 7th goes, Weldon 6th, Attila 7th. Diego Guillo in 8th. Brendan Cooley in 9th. 10th spot was Patricio Gonzalez. 11th, JT Hoskins. 12th, Connor Aspley. 13th, Emma Scarborough. 14th, Michael Suko. Matan Achatov in 15th. Maddie Collar in 16th. Kaylee Countryman 17th. 1 lap down, although she essentially pushed Connor Aspley across the line, but she was a lap down. Chase Fernandez, as we know, a lap down as well. Thomas Nordquist after that issue in turn 1. 2 laps down in 19th, and Hudson Potter with the contact with Kaylee Countryman over in turn number 4, only getting those 2 laps in. So a couple of yellows, John, slowed us. A little bit of contact, one little mistake as well. But the bottom line is, say this all the time, the cream kind of rose to the top. The drivers in the front of the point standings are the guys we saw at the front of the race here as well, with Scorpione, Vergara, Fisher, Loiacono, those drivers all in the championship fight right now.
Yeah, Scorpione extending his points lead, giving a little breathing room over Oliver Weldon. I'm sure Oliver is ruining that little dropping the wheels off here coming onto the front straightaway. It cost him a bunch of spots. He certainly had the pace to be right there in the top battle. So that's a lesson learned. He'll come back for race number 2 and see what he can do.
Couple of guys just to shout out. First and foremost, Brendan Cooley, great job for P9, his second best run of the season. Cooley started, he started 7th, fell back to 9th, but he was in a couple of really good battles there. JT Hoskins, man. Well, that instant, if you've seen it on social media, it was probably the worst wreck I've seen in all the years I've done for USF 2000 and F2000 competition, but the Tatis tub held up beautifully for him. Minor concussion. He's able to come back, not only get in the car, race hard, but engage in a couple of great battles. Love to see JT Hoskins into 11th. So great run for him. We got the field coming through. John, I'm going to head down to Victory Lane. I'll get that wrapped up. I'll be back up here with you for USF 2000. We're going to celebrate right now a big win for Leonardo Scorpione.
Indeed. Well done. Rob's going to make his way down to the podium to talk to our winning 3 drivers, or top 3 finishers, should we say. Scorpione, Vergara, and Fisher taking those podium spots. Shout out to Pato Gonzalez. Again, we talked about it a little bit during the race. A big move started back outside of row number 9 and ended up in the 10th position. So good recovery drive from him. JT Hoskins right with him as well, who started with Gonzalez. Those two started in that 9th row and both found themselves up into 10th and 11th respectively. So well done in that regard. As our winner, Leonardo Scorpione, down in Victory Circle, getting unbuckled. And he'll get congratulations from his team as he extends his points lead over Oliver Weldon. Ty Fisher coming home from the pole into that 3rd spot. We'll close down on Oliver Weldon as well, with Weldon stumbling back to a 6th place finish. Again, a great recovery as he dropped back to about 9th or 10th and picked his way back up to a 6th place finish. Scorpione finally climbing out of that race car. And he will celebrate with good reason. His 4th win on the season. Backing up a win at New Orleans and then back-to-back wins at Barber. And then 3 podium finishes in his last 4 races and make it win number 4.
Let's get things underway, folks, as the drivers here in this PFC Grand Prix of Mid-Ohio. The first of 7 here for the weekend. Good stuff here right now, again, with the drivers in USF Juniors. A couple of yellow flags, but bottom line is some very talented drivers were able to work their way up here. Let's start off with the driver coming home in 3rd place today. Give it up for Zanella Racing's Ty Fisher. Fisher coming home in the 3rd spot. Finishing in 2nd today for VRD Racing, Joao Vergara. But again, folks, as I said, 4th win on the season for this young driver. The point leader coming in, he point advantage here into the next race. Finishing as the race winner today, Leonardo Scorpione. Leo, let's have a quick chat here right now. Congratulations, you know, wins are crucial in this series. So many drivers here have the ability to do it. Give me your thoughts on coming away with the win here today.
I mean, it was honestly amazing. We already with the championship lead, so honestly, going into, I wasn't really thinking about the race win. I was thinking about just finishing on the podium and staying there. But then on the restart, I saw an opportunity to pass Ty, and I went for it. And we had some pretty good racing going through 4, 5, and 6, and I was able to pull off the move.
Then, of course, you had to pull away. You had drivers coming at the end. Did you know Vergara was getting close?
Yeah, I could tell in the mirrors he was pretty quick at the end. And, I mean, it was about staying consistent, staying on track, because I know it's really hard to pass through with the dirty air, so it's just about just staying on track.
What about tomorrow? What about tomorrow morning? You think you're going to have a better car? Can you make it faster?
Yeah, I think I need to improve the driving a little bit, but we'll be good.
All right, the driving. That's good. Well done. All right, who do you want to thank today?
I want to thank my dad, Ernie, Naka, Mimo, everyone under Zanella, God, my mom, and everyone who made this possible.
Well done, my friend. Get up on top of the podium here right now. One more time, folks. Great run there for Leonardo Scorpione with the race win, his 4th win of the season, stretching his point lead out. All of the bonus points going to Ty Fisher for the fast lap of the race, I believe. Of course, most laps led, as well as the pole position. Joao Vergara, crucial points as well, coming home here in the 2nd position. So again, these drivers up front most certainly showing their power and their speed and their talent here at Mid-Ohio in front of the IndyCar teams. Of course, we know that they were also on the IndyCar event at the Barber Motorsports Park, but another opportunity to race in front of IndyCar here, potentially their future bosses down the line. We look for all of these drivers to work their way up through our entire program, starting in juniors, moving to USF 2000, the top drivers going there very likely in 2026, and then on to USF Pro 2000, Indy next, and if all goes well, the NTT IndyCar Series. USF 2000 drivers are on the grid right now, or at least on the pre-grid. We'll begin them out here shortly as their race follows up here right after this USF Juniors Victory Lane celebration. Juniors will be back on the racetrack first thing tomorrow morning to cap off their weekend here at Mid-Ohio. Then we have 2 races on the day tomorrow for USF Pro 2000, 1 for USF 2000, and then Sunday morning capping off the 7th race of a exciting weekend here for the USF Pro Championships presented by Continental Tire, with USF 2000 backing up their triple header weekend here. So Champagne working its way out here momentarily. We'll let these drivers get a chance to get at it here. All right, guys, go grab that champagne. Let's get at it. Let's grip it and rip it. The first of 2 celebrations here on the weekend. Leonardo Scorpione getting the race win here in USF Juniors, extending that championship lead. Tremendous job for him. Great stuff to start off the season, and of course midway through, and now the stretch run with 8 races to go. Make it 7 races to go after today. He has the lead heading into tomorrow's race. That caps things off for USF Juniors. Send it back up to John Phippen as we're about set to go with USF 2000.